What's up, everybody? I know you were expecting to see just a conversation this time. Unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, we're having problems with getting this week's episode on. However, in the meanwhile, we'd like to ask you to check out encore of last week's show. And as soon as that comes up, we'll get it to you as fast as we can, if not sooner. Thanks a lot. We appreciate you guys sticking with us. Please enjoy this encore episode.
What it do, beautiful people, my melanated kings and queens. Welcome to It's Justa Conversations. I am your host, Justa Verse. Let's converse.
Yeah, I love it when you talk, baby. You so smooth, like butter, cocoa. This is just a conversation. Tell me about it, do my root and observation. That's enough to be patient. But we gon' take it, we gon' not be complacent. We can run our races. That's part of history, we get all our innovation. We're just having conversation. Tell me about it, do my root and observation. Yeah.
What it do, beautiful people, my melanated kings and queens. It's just a conversation. Your girl, Just Diverse in the building. Also known as Stephanie M. Clark. Go and get my book. Okay. My hair is my crown. The other one is Crown Me King. Both children's books. Embracing the beauty of our hair. Okay. In the building, we got my beautiful sis looking like a Snapchat filter. No time Shay in the building. What's up, boo?
What's up? What's up? I'm feeling good. How you doing? Looking fly over there.
No time
I see you, girl. I see you.
And I see her looking all melanated in the, you know what I'm saying, and her little purple thing on the top, looking all good. And let me tell y'all, she ain't got no foundation because she be doing her face and all pretty with her stuff, and she just be looking all flawless. Yeah, who is going to call me Verse today? Yeah, what it do, boo?
Thank you, Verse. Thank you. That was so hard.
How you doing?
Doing wonderful.
You look great. You look great.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm talking about skin regimen. If y'all want to know about her skin regimen, you got to find her. Y'all Jules. You know what I'm saying? But yo, how are you ladies doing today? Everything good?
I'm good. I'm good. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm ready to get back. In bed because I'm ready for relaxation today. So
we all need that relaxation. We never want to walk out looking tired, but I digress. I digress. Tomorrow, my girl Shay, and we're recording this on the 17th. Tomorrow, my girl Shay, my wonderful sis, she got a day of her birth, her birthday. You know what I'm saying? The day she came up out the womb and stepped into this world. You know what I'm saying? Boom.
Wow.
Building. Y'all ain't ready. Look out, world.
Look out. Shout out to me on my birthday.
They don't know. They don't know. Yes. You are looking beautiful, and you get to tell your age if you want to, but just understand she does not look her age. I just want y'all to know that. Whatever you think her age is, trust me, think lower, okay? Because my baby is looking. good over there. So I'm gonna start it off by saying happy early birthday to you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. This week we were supposed to have our sis Sharon on the show, but Sharon's birthday was on Friday, and she has a little birthday thing going on that she was surprised with. So I can't hate on that. She will be coming back, and I mean, she will be coming to the show. So look out for that in the next couple weeks. It's gonna be great. I got a question for you guys. What do y'all think about your friend maintaining a friendship with someone that you're no longer in a relationship with? What are your thoughts on that? Like, and I mean, in a situation where, yeah, y'all may have met through, you know, but you developed your own relationship, you developed your own friendship. I'm not talking about y'all got to ride or die to, to the end. But what do y'all think about maintaining that? Like, and I'm gonna let either one of y'all go. I'm not even gonna call on nobody. Talk to me.
I mean, it all depends. It really all depends on the situations. Like if you were in a relationship with somebody and y'all families were blended, it's kind of hard to say, okay, we're no longer family anymore. Like, especially when there's children involved, whether y'all had children or you're best friends with somebody that has children and you're the godparent or whatever the case may be. Like when you build that type of bond with somebody, it's hard to just break it because they're no longer in a relationship with your sister, your cousin, your mama, whoever it is. So I mean, it all depends. I it may be a little weird, but I think it's not necessarily about you per se. You meaning like you my friend, but you trying to be friends with my ex. It's not about you. It's about the relationships that we're also able to have, and you can't just cut that off. It's really, really hard. So you just gotta
Especially long-term relationships, right? I'm talking 4, 5, 6 years of being in this person's face. You know what I'm saying? Like, I totally agree with that. What about you, Shay?
Well, it's easy for me to cut people off.
Yes.
So I'd be like, oh, for real? Done. Next.
yeah,
No,
okay.
but like, it just really depends on the situation, I guess. Like, were you friends before, and how deep that relationship really goes? Like you said, yeah, if there's like, kids involved, like it makes it more complicated. But I try not to be in those complicated situations. So I will be cutting you off. Okay.
Now, on the flip side of that, um, because yeah, I get all of that. I know one of my exes, I'm very close with his sister still. And to be honest with you, when we first separated, I tried to distance myself from his family. I love them all, but I thought that it would be awkward. But me and this dude had been together for several years. We had been engaged at one point, a whole bunch of other stuff. So his cousins didn't let me cut them off. They still was was hollering at me and talking to me and checking on me and stuff like that. A cousin of his actually came out to visit me. His sister maintains like, yeah, you're my sis, and that's just what it is. So it was awkward at first, but we developed our own relationship to the point where he became a non-factor. We don't talk about him. If he comes up, it's something trivial, the only time that he is of any sort of conversation is, for instance, if the sister is having a party for her children. She's like, I would invite you. I don't even care, but I already know you don't want to be. You're right. I don't want to be around that. I don't want to be around that mess. And that's the only other time. This same guy happens to be one of my goddaughter's godfather, one of, Shay's daughter. It's his godfather. It's her godfather. And he separated himself from you because of the chaos. But even though I didn't rock with him, I don't rock with him. I may see him occasionally if we're in the same place and be like, what's up? But I don't rock with him. But I kind of feel like, y'all should be able to maintain your relationship. Matter of fact, you have an ex who I grew up with as well. And in that situation, like, I wanted to maintain my relationship with him. You know what I'm saying? And he kind of separated himself, and it's that awkwardness. But do you really think that it's fair if you've developed your own relationship well, thankfully, Shay, you never told me you don't want me to speak to him. And I never told you I don't want you to speak to.
I would never do that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've been in a situation like that where, me and the guy broke up, but it's so crazy because me and his sister were friends before we even knew each other. And so when we broke up, like, she just stopped, speaking to me. And so years later, she came back around and was just like, yeah, I got pressure to just not be around you in this, that, and the third because of his girlfriend at the time. So I was just like, that's really unfortunate how you feel so, insecure that you would go so far as, saying that his sister can't even be friends with me. Like, she ain't got nothing to do with you. I'm not trying to be a part of that. That's why we're not together.
Right.
So,
it's one thing if it was a brother of his or something like that, but these are two women who do not have sexual whatever towards each other. You guys don't identify as being anything but heterosexual. So with that, it's like, it's even weirder, right?
right. It's so weird. And it's so sad to see, like, now, because she be watching me. Like, bitches be watching. Bitches be watching. Excuse my language, but them hoes be watching, okay? And it's so crazy because, like, you're grown. You're older than these people, first of all. You live your own life. But I also feel like there's some type of jealousy in there too. Like, I can't really make sense of it all for the general consensus, you know what I'm saying? But in my situation, it was just like a whole lot of jealousy. It was like they just didn't like the fact that I could move on with my life and not be on his case, on his body, trying to be with him while he's trying to figure out some other situation with some other. I didn't care about that situation. I don't care about that situation. But I see why she was so insecure, because the nigga was not over me.
And a lot of times that's what I think it comes down to. When it comes, a lot of times these guys, or whoever it is, they're not over that person. So they end up making attention that shouldn't be there. It's like, if it's done, it's done. You know what I'm saying? I can't do. I'm damn sure not about to beg you for anything. It's like, it is what it is, So I asked, kind of getting off of that, but just staying in that whole realm of things. I'm gonna be blatant right now, because this little motherfucker was blatant when he tried to put my goddaughter out there, right? So my goddaughter had this boyfriend, and I'm gonna be honest with you. If I was in New York, I probably would have punched him in his face by now. I'm just gonna keep it a buck for you, because when it comes to my babies, I don't play, right? This guy, because my question is, and I'm gonna give you the scenario, but my question that I want you guys to think on is, how much should your family and your friends play in your relationship? How big of a role should they play in your relationship? Now, this little boy, I'm gonna call him little boy because he ain't no man. This little boy, because he want to go put her. I digress, because I'm finna get hot. This little boy, he broke up with my goddaughter And well, he had stayed 3 days over her crib, and her mom, my dear friend, allowed this. Cool, whatever. Y'all grown. She goddaughter's 21, he's 22, whatever. You come to the crib. It is what it is. She has more of a relaxed home where they, they cuss, they go back and forth with each other. Like they just, wow, that's just how they are. They get down like that. But it's a good dynamic for them. You know what I'm saying? And I have fun when I go there. I just don't play board games with them because I'm the one. You trash talk too much, I'm gonna get upset in real life, and then I'm just gonna mess up your whole night. So don't play no games with me. But he was over there for 3 days, and when he left, he sent her a voicemail message breaking up with her. Little bitch. Yeah, I said it, little bitch. And I hope, I'm gonna find you on Facebook and probably tag you on this if I can find you so you can know I'm talking about you, little bitch. Okay. Say something, do something. I'm in Arizona. Anyway, I digress. He contacts her via, what, and Lisa, and he says that he can't save her. So at first I'm thinking, I bet maybe because he said her family is toxic. So initially I'm thinking about this and I'm like, all right, I don't think that they're toxic, but I'm also used to them. So perhaps somebody who's not used to them could look at, the foul language, how wild they can be or whatever, it's a lot of hustle bustle chaos that they have going on in their crib. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's not used to that type of living. So that's why he's thinking, no. Had nothing to do with that. My boy was upset because my goddaughter uh, doesn't have a lot of money to go out with him.
What?
That's because she pays bills. She actually pays bills within the household that she lives. Okay. He was upset because she doesn't have time for herself because her sister, who had a baby during the pandemic, finally just got a job. So her sister is paying her to watch her nephew. So rather than go out and do absolutely nothing, I'm not only going to take care of my sister by watching her child so she can go and work, I'm going to take care of my nephew because that's my nephew. And I'm also getting paid for this. He had a problem with that. He had a problem because my friend, my goddaughter's mother, is going she's too strict when it comes to this COVID thing. She wants everything clean, da 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 da. Besides the fact that clearly you're nasty because, cleanliness, it's not a bad thing. But besides that, this is the same one, and you're going to figure out who this is. I don't care. It's Sharon, okay, that's coming on the show. She had cancer. She was going through chemo. Her immune system is crap. And he is upset because she goes too far with this COVID thing. So these are his grievances. He then, after he breaks up with her, he has this little podcast, which I won't mention because it's not worth mentioning. It was really horrible. He had sad raining music in the background while he sat there and poured his heart out about like weird stuff, like telling half stories and everything, making her look like the bad guy. Oh, his other grievance. He has to travel on buses and trains. Now, this is not he say, she say. This is coming from his whack ass podcast. So he has to travel on these trains and these buses because they live in Brooklyn to see her, and she can't come and see him. So you want your girl on trains and buses to come see you? Why you want your girl?
You want trains and buses.
Thing one. Okay. When she went over to his house, his mother didn't rock with my goddaughter, and said, she stay over here, she gonna have to be on the couch. Now I get it, but you can't, say that Sharon is strict and your mama won't let your grown ass have a chick at the crib. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and brag a little bit. He's 22 years old. If you watch this, and I hope you watch this, there's no excuse for you, young man. You know why? Because I live in Phoenix. My 22-year-old lives in Atlanta, and he takes care of himself. He won't ask me for nothing. Matter of fact, they can be sending me money sometimes. Okay. He handles his own bills. He has a car in his name, no cosign, no help with the funds, nothing. It's him. He takes care of himself. He takes care of his girl. He takes care of his friends around them in terms of always being there, whatever. And I'm not even going to get into his friends they're 22, EMT, IT for the school. One just graduated. His girlfriend graduated top of her class, criminal justice. Like, come on, yo. There's no excuse for you, right? But in his podcast, he kept talking about how my goddaughter is his earth. She was everything. She was my earth. And some people could say there's still more.
Was he talking like this?
Bruh.
What's happening?
Some people might say that, you can have Mars, but I didn't want Mars. I wanted my Earth. That's what was happening. That's what was going down. So if she's so wonderful, you broke up with her because of her family? I say all of that to say, go Pack, go. I say all of that to say, I'm sorry, that was random. Somebody just told me they're watching a Packers game. Shout out to Kristen. That's right. Go Pack, go. But you say how much you care about this person. You love her. She is everything he literally said everything that he's ever wanted in someone is what he found in her. And then he broke up with her because of her family. And I want to know what your thoughts are on. And you can feel free to bash him if you want. I don't care, because he had no problem with going on his podcast and talking for a couple episodes, talking hella shit about, my girl and the family and everything. And if you're talking about the family, you're talking about me. So I'm going to give you toxic on today. Okay. But what are your thoughts as far as how this, how the family affects your relationship? Shay, I'll start with you. You're in my face right now.
Well, I mean, to me, that's all messed up. Like, I mean, how long were they dating?
A little less than a year. It was the
And
beginning.
you don't know the dynamics of how the family roll. Like, you don't know that. I mean, like these are things that you learn within the first few months. Like, even if it's just by word of mouth, her telling, okay, look, this is my family, this is how we get down. And then just watching a person, like if you can't get with it, then you need to get gone. Period. Why are you online talking about this? I don't understand. But this, I guess this is how younger folk deal with their situations.
Keep that in mind. After that breakup or whatever, he has not spoken to her. He's just gone on. And normally I wouldn't do this, but because I don't particularly want to go to jail. And the year is almost up and I'm cool on not going to jail. I'm gonna be on the East Coast when my brother and sister are born. So I definitely could take that chance. But because I don't want to, I'm gonna go ahead and let this be the outlet. I'm giving her vindication right now,
Okay.
but for him to go on there and do all of that. And like you said, because they got together. Matter of fact, this is the same guy that we were talking about when we went there for the funeral. That same guy we were talking to kids. So that was what, February?
April?
March, April. Okay, April. All right. So I think they've been together since February then until now. What about you, Yaya?
My whole problem is it's like his reasoning. It's his reasoning for me. It's like how you got an issue with somebody for not having, enough funds to go do whatever the fuck, buy random food, go see a damn movie. What the fuck you trying to do? Like, anyways,
it's not like everything wide open.
Oh,
right. You acting like you was trying to go to Mexico or something. You was trying to but you was trying to go to Greece. Is that what you're saying? Because now I'm on your ass for real, because I'm petty like that and I'm gonna roast you because you can't be talking about that and then saying I have to ride the bus and the train. Now that ain't no shade to nobody that ride a bus and a train at all. There's nothing wrong with that. Many wealthy people commute that way. It's just efficient. But you can't be talking that type of shit when you don't even have the option to drive a car. Okay?
but she's your earth.
Right, but she's
Your earth.
your universe and all the stars and shit. She all that. It's just like it's for me. It's just a whole lot of immaturity, and on top of that, I wasn't privileged enough to have an immediate family that is that close. You know what I'm saying? So your goddaughter has that. And it's like to some people that is so foreign. I'm mature to see that type of dynamic and be like, that's wonderful. It's a good thing that all the family can stay together and support each other and all that good stuff. But some motherfuckers come from broken homes or maybe just homes that weren't so loving and so close and so open and free to talk about these type of things, that it's just like when they see it, it's oh my gosh, it's toxic. It's this. No. The lack of love and empathy you have is toxic. The lack thereof is toxic. That's what's toxic. The fact that you can't actually have a conversation with a woman that you want to break up with is toxic. Clearly, your daddy didn't teach you the right way, and your mother and your father did not set a good example that shows no, this actually is a dynamic you want to have with your family. Maybe there's some things that you don't like here and there. Everybody has that, but you can't say an overall family that stays together is toxic, that are supporting, especially
Down for
things
each
that
other. You know what I mean?
like, I don't know if you mentioned certain things which I